Hey, long time no see. Sorry about that. I picked kind of a weird time to no show for a few weeks. I had kind of a busy few weeks. The last video I made was on my birthday, and it's I went on a birthday trip with my mom and my siblings, and we went hiking, and I shot a bunch of video at the beach, Glass Beach, which it has a lot of sea glass, and hiking, but I do not have it in me to edit that. So it's all like 5-second clips and it would take a while to put together. And I don't have video editing software anymore. So you can just Google it. I don't know. It was really fun to be with my siblings. I hadn't seen my brother in a year and a half. I hadn't seen my mom since August. My sister's a little more recently, but I still don't see my family that much. So it was really nice to get together with them. I really like this hat, so it has a hole at the top that my hair can go through. Because I can't wear hats where like it would have to contain the hair because it would just look like out to here. But with this, it fits through the top. It works really well. My mom made it. She made me a bunch of these, um, and I like them. Um, she makes some that have like a little button here that you can hook a mask over. So I have some of those, and then I have some like this that don't have that. And I I think it's really clever because obviously you have to wear masks and it makes sense to not have to have it pull in your ears. Though I don't know about y'all, but I'm not wearing like the scary masks anymore. I mean, I will in fire season. Kate reminded me that I needed better masks for fire season because I ran out of my COVID masks. Terrible timeline that I have two reasons to need masks. But so I ordered a whole bunch of KN95s. I still have to figure out the filter thing. I have to figure out the filter in my AC to help with that. I have a little time before fire season, but not much, so I am going to get on it. Um, this was a tangent. I was supposed to be talking about something else. I don't know. Anyway, and after my birthday trip with my family, a few weeks later, I had you can't really see it, a 30th, it says celebrating 30 magical years, and it's Disney, obviously. So I took a 30th birthday trip to Disneyland. I hope that's okay. I'm vaccinated, so for me it was like, okay, this is a chance to go when the lines are pretty short. And since I'm vaccinated and it's only open to California residents, it seemed like, okay, now's a good time to go. So I did. And it was really fun. I went to California Adventure, which is the other Disney park, for the very first time, and Disneyland for the second time in my life. I also went to Universal, and I mean, we rode a lot of rides, but at Universal, we very specifically spent like 8 of the 9 hours or something like that in Harry Potter World. We did one ride outside of Harry Potter World, and the main Harry Potter ride, which is like the the castle ride, I think we did 7 or 8 times because we really had no interest in doing anything else. And we did the roller coaster 2 or 3 times, but mostly all we cared about was getting on that like the fancy ride, and it was so fun. And I went with my best friend who I don't get to hang out with all the time because she doesn't live close to me. So it was really fun to see her. Um, what else is there? Oh, my coworker. Okay, so I'm going to go over this, but I'm going to be super vague and hopefully nobody ever sees this video. So my coworker was a little bit incompetent. Um, and she had to have things explained to her like 10 times. But like you could explain it. But she committed such an egregious, catastrophic, expensive error that after she gave her 2 weeks' notice saying that she was going to be leaving the company, like 3 days later, she and the boss came to a mutual agreement that she wasn't even going to work the 2 weeks. She was just going to leave that day, which was wow, dramatic. Like, I'm not going to explain what happened in the error. You can ask offline if you want. But it was crazy. 1 minute she was there, and then half an hour later, in the middle of the day, she was just gone, and I'm never gonna see her again, which is pretty wild. Um, so now it's just me and my boss, and no coworker. And I think the day kind of goes more smoothly. I'm sad I don't have like a social friend, but work wise, I think we're actually doing okay. just the two of us. I can't remember if I've talked about this, and I'm not going back through every video I've made this year. I created a, I made, I opened, I don't know what the verb is, a 401k in January of this year, which is the very first time I've ever done that. And no job I've ever been at, I've ever made enough that I felt like I had the flexibility to, I mean, to some extent I did because I was traveling a lot and going to shows and stuff. But also, like, even if I had, it would have been like $2,000 a year max because that was kind of like my discretionary budget. And so it wasn't going to add up to much. But now I created a 401k, which is one of those really cool things because it means I'm looking ahead to my future. And I think we've been over this a few times on the channel that for the first 25 years, no, more than that, the first like 28 years of my life, I never looked forward to the future. I just kind of always assumed I wasn't going to make it to the future. So planning for retirement's a very exciting thing. So, I know that's like a really random thing, and I'm not putting in that much. I'm doing my best, but you know, like I don't make a bazillion dollars, so I'm just putting in what I can afford to put in. But I feel really proud of myself that I made that adult decision. um, what else is there to say? I'm like, I feel like I've missed several weeks, so I should have several things to talk about. What else happened? I stopped using the exercise bike. When I went on vacation, I just kind of got out of the habit, and then when I came, obviously because I wasn't here, and then when I came back, I just like wasn't in the habit anymore. That's unfortunate. There's some kind of mold growing in my kitchen. I probably shouldn't admit that online either. So I sprayed bleach on it, and if it comes back, I'm going to tell my landlady and cross my fingers that I don't have to like leave while it gets dealt with because it's coming through a floorboard, and if they have to pull up the floorboards in my teeny tiny 1-bedroom apartment, there will be nowhere else for me to go. So I don't know what I'll do. Yay. I feel like I should end on a positive note, and that is not a positive note. I registered that this is 7.5 minutes long, so I'm kind of going over. Although we've been over this, it's just fun to hang out with a friend for however long they go. I didn't respond to Kate. The caddy thing, like even though you didn't make the pun in the video, it was still very funny that you made the caddy pun in the title. I liked that. And getting bullied by cats, like I can picture it because there was a cat on my front doorstep earlier, and I wanted to leave because my house was hot and out like the sunlight during the day made my house hot, and in the evening the outside had cooled down, but my house hadn't cooled down yet, so I wanted to go outside, but I couldn't because there was a cat on my doorstep, and if I opened the door, I knew the cat was going to come in, and this has happened before, so I knew I couldn't leave, so I was trapped in my house by a cat, which feels like bullying to me. So the cat was not nice. It was meowing so loudly. I was on the phone and he was like, I can hear that. Which, wow. Very loud cat. And it wasn't even close to me. It was like, through the door and they could hear on the phone. Yeah, okay. Cat bullying. All right. I guess that's all I'll go with. DFTBA. Love you guys and I'll see you next week.